face, but hi, YouTube streets. I will not be standing off camera, but welcome to the B3ST Reviews channel. Let's welcome our co-host for all of our television recaps, James.
Hey, everybody. Thank you for being here. Like, comment, and subscribe to the video, please.
Please.
And the channel. And the channel.
Oh, yes, and the channel. If you subscribe, we really appreciate you. You guys, you can also subscribe to James's channel. He does not just recaps. He's got update videos. He's like a regular TMZ in training. So be sure.
I am trying, y'all. I am trying to get my channel more exquisite to everyone's liking. It's hard when you have a full-time job.
Preach.
Everything else going on in life, you just can't do it. So,
Preach.
Yes.
Working full time and then also finding time for YouTube or doing things like James has done, such as write books. It's important. You have to do things that you enjoy and that center you away from the jobs we're only at because we want to pay bills. That's about it.
Exactly.
But we're here to go over Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. We are a day late, a little bit of a dollar short too, but that's okay. This was Run It Back, season 12, episode 24. I had some serious technical issues yesterday that required me contacting StreamYard's support people, and they were actually pretty responsive. But I did have tech issues, so I do apologize to anybody who was looking forward to Love and Hip Hop yesterday. And I appreciate all of you guys for watching, and I know James does as well. But let's get into the foolery. I'm not going over every little thing, just the things that were vital, because I am on the clock. Spice and Rashida, they end up meeting up, and they're talking and catching up, all of those little good things. And this is where Yandy comes in, and Yandy is upset about Jessica White coming and talking to her about Mendices. I said, now, I feel like we talked about this last week, James. Why are they taking one person saying something that hundreds of thousands, if not millions at this point, of people have been saying about Yandy and Rashida's man? But Yandy's mad now. She's like, no one on the cast can talk about this.
Here's my thing, Yandy. Because she pissed me off right out the gate. You said that was you responding to the little girl in the DMs, and you said that you knew about this. So if you knew about this, what the hell are you going to Rashida and Spice for, bombarding them with questions when you the one that did it? And then you in this scene said that you did it. So we all confused on what you really mad at. Like, is there another woman we don't know about that's in the DMs that you didn't know about? Is that what we supposed to be mad at?
Her story throughout this whole episode, there was so many like cracks in the foundation of not just her story, but her marriage, her wig line. There was a lot going on.
I'm trying to tell you. And then in real time today, Lil Mendici said he did it.
That pissed me off.
It's like, what is going on in the Harris household?
Stuff they don't want us to know about.
Like, for real, like, what is really going on here? Why is he now coming out lying for you and your husband now? Because we know he didn't do it. You got your own Instagram page, and you not bad on the eyes, and you legal. So what the hell you need to go on your daddy's page for to talk to? So I'm pretty sure there's plenty of women and possible men in that little boy's DMs. I don't get off my screen.
It irked me. That is something, I don't know if you're talking about that in your updates video later, but that genuinely irked me. Lil Mendices.
No, I'm not talking about that because I don't believe it.
Don't bring the kids. Don't bring your kids into your bullshit. That's what I'm going to say. And I don't care if he's 18, 19. He should be making YouTube, establishing himself as an adult, living his life. He should not have to be concerned with his father and stepmama's business. Now, Yandy had the most to say about Lil Mendici's mama, but she don't seem to involve her child in her mess. But Yandy seems to. So I'm gonna say that was a bad move for them to even be okay with that.
Let it alone. Let us forget about it.
Right. And the fact that that little boy even felt the need to defend his dad like that shows that he's too impacted, and maybe it's time for them to leave the show. Once your kids start feeling like they got to speak out for you, maybe y'all doing too much and should allow your children privacy. And they can't have that when their parents are public figures that have no sense. Because there are a lot of kids who have parents as public figures that don't do this. I'm just saying. But Yandy basically is telling Spice what happened, and she feels like She says she does not know now if Rashida's fully on her side. She's basically side-eyeing Rashida for not telling her that her husband's name had been being spoken on, which, here's the thing. Yes, you should expect loyalty from your friends, but if my name is being spoken on, I expect my friends to walk away or to speak up and say, don't say that around me. Say it to anybody else, but don't say that around me. But I don't need them to like report back to me that someone's speaking on my man, especially if it's something about cheating. Like, let's not keep that alive. But, you know, it is what it is there. Now, Yandy then explains that this bullshit ass story that I'm not even going to go into detail with. She says that Mendices and her, as it relates to the messages that she claims she sent, was in the club. She says that a woman was tugging on Mendices' arm or something like that. And that's what made her message the girl, because the woman who tugged on her arm, allegedly, James's lips is my face too. Allegedly, this woman, she spotted out, and someone said it when they were recounting what they heard from Yandy. You spotted this girl in a dark lit club all the way across the room and said, I'm going to go on my husband's phone and message her. Why tell her it's complicated? Why message the woman in the first place? Why not? If I'm there and a bitch is tugging at my man's arm, I'm confronting her and I'm probably getting put out the club.
Me too. It's like, what are we doing here, Yandy? Why are you like, oh, okay, bet. I'm about to slide in DMs and send her a DM. Why? If you got space and opportunity there. Why? It's given, if this story were to be true, which I don't think it is, but if this story really was to be true, I feel like he's had multiple encounters with this woman and you couldn't put a face to a picture. And so finally you did to get confirmation that this was really her. And that's what I would have believed had she said that, but that's not what she said. So therefore, I don't believe her story.
Nobody believes Yandy's story. Yandy don't even believe her story.
The fact that you try to justify the accusation or even the input that your man is cheating by therefore creating a scenario surrounding his cheating is just amazing to me.
She fucking up the church's money.
She really is.
And I don't like that.
Leave it alone, Yandy. Leave it alone.
Leave it alone. Sometimes it's better to be silent. I think silence is golden at times. And this is one of those things where, honestly, pull a Rashida, deny, deflect, and BS. That might have been better. But okay, Yandy. Now, after she explains her story, Rashida basically gets an attitude with Yandy, like from the jump when they're trying to talk. And Yandy's like, you know, I already side-eyed you once. For those who don't know, it was like a season or two ago. Rashida did kind of do shady by Yandy. And we have to remember she's a Gemini and they can change. And when Geminis are in love, you're definitely not important. The person they're in love with is. So I'm a Gemini. That's why I speak. Yeah, a lot. I think a lot of them spring, early summer babies. We are definitely that way.
Mm-hmm.
I don't sign nothing wrong with it. Hell, I love my husband. Shout out to Also Best, but nothing wrong with it. But Rashida, I felt like she was a little cold with her response to Yandy. But as I see on the internet, Yandy doesn't realize that Rashida is nobody's friend. But Rashida swears when it comes to marriage, she don't play games. Rashida, and she rudely tells Yandy, so any thoughts you have about me impacting your marriage, you could keep that under your belt. Rashida, in real life, if you talk to anybody like that, you get the dog you know what smacked out of you. That irritated me. You muted. You're on mute.
It irritated me because it's like, Rashida, you act like you ain't got your own shit to be dealing with. And you act like Kirk don't play in your face either.
So you do play games with marriage. Thank you.
Yes. Like I'm trying to figure out her. I tell you, Yandy too. It's not just Rashida. It's Yandy too. Y'all play ridiculous games to defend these no good ass men you're married to. Y'all play crazy ass games, especially Yandy. Because I don't see Rashida doing all of that. I just don't. I just think Kirk is just allowed to play in her face with whomever is there. I feel like Yandy is with the antics because to me, and I know I might be stretching on this, but work with me. I feel like Yandy does this for leverage. Plays these antic games for leverage. I don't know what the leverage could be, but that's the only thing that would logically make sense to me is why she's keeping up with the antics. Because even Mendices looks confused that last episode. So when he looks confused by the bullshit, that lets me know you do this for something. I don't know what it could be, and I don't know what leverage she would need. But at the same time, women that move like that do that so that way they could say, "Oh, well, look at the DM I got. You don't remember this?" and play mind games. And because men don't know who they be cheating with, they gonna fall for the shit.
That's true. That's true because Mendices did look just confused.
He looked confused as hell, and it wasn't a confusion like, "What are you talking about?" It's confusion like, "Why are you doing this?" And I'm confused on what you were even talking about. That's what it's.
Yeah, because usually a couple would discuss how they're going to handle it, but clearly that's how you know these people don't really live together too. But that's another topic. Y'all be sure to like the video if you haven't already. We do appreciate you. Next thing we go see is Jasmine, aka Kirk's baby mama, aka Kirk's mistress, aka his side chick, because I think he's still messing with her a little bit. But Jasmine apparently can sing and is having a studio session. Baby, you will never be remembered as a singer or someone with talent first because you chose to introduce yourself to us as a side chick and a mistress with a baby by a man that you knew was with someone else. So I say that not to like continue to drag Jasmine, but I say that because it's kind of like, Jasmine, girl, what the hell? Now you can sing. Hi, I missed day when and I had missed your comment. I apologize. I like that black on you too. You look good, girl. You look good, girl. She said neither do men care who they don't care. They are a trifling. Yeah. Honestly, Yandy and Rashida, and they're both in some trifling ass relationships. Marriage, if it's like that, is not a flex. It's not. The goal is not just to have the title.
I don't care how many years you put into it. It's not a flex.
No. We've been together for 40 years. Yeah. Okay, Rashida. Well, for 39 years, he's been cheating. 39.5.
39.75. Don't be giving her that credit like that. 39.75. I believe from day 3.
God, I can't. Right. Everybody swear they can sing. Or rap. And not everybody can. This just like, she probably should have introduced herself as that first. Or if you do like people used to do back in the day, be broke, be eating ramen noodles and just passing out your demo tape like J. Cole did. Stalk the A&R. I don't know. But she went to the strip club, had a baby by a roach, and then now she sings. And I couldn't tell if she could sing because there was so much auto-tune and pitch correction.
It was like it was very pitchy. It was just weird. I couldn't tell if she could sing either. It was like, okay, what are we doing? What is this?
I don't know. But Jessica White also came on here to talk about she is a singer. So this is the love and fake ass artist at this point cast, because there's only a couple of them that's actually doing something. But okay, Jasmine, if she actually can sing, I do wish her success. Bitch, that what is that? I'm sure she can't. That's why all the auto-tune was in place. Yeah, if you can sing, just sing. Just sing the song. You know, I don't get that. Hell, Lord help us. Anywho, Jessica is with Jasmine in the studio, and they're discussing Jessica's event where Spice and everybody went crazy. And I'm really annoyed with Jessica because I understand being upset about your event because Spice did come in acting a fool. But you were warned about Spice because you were very close to Carly, Jessica. You lived with Carly. So I'm sure you know how Spice moves and how Spice gets. But now that Spice's temperature changed when it comes to you, you're suddenly so offended. But you're still okay with Shekinah? Even though she was starting shit in there too? So Jessica is wishy-washy as hell to me. She irks my soul for that. But Jessica tells Jasmine that she basically thinks that Yandy took the fall for Mendices, which I think anybody could see that. I don't think Yandy realizes she's a terrible liar. And Jessica has the audacity to act as if her niece's character is being tarnished. Bitch, we only know about your niece talking to him because of you. So if anyone's tarnishing your niece's character, it's you. Even if her niece was fucking on Mendices or something like that, none of us would know about it if her auntie Jessica White did not tell us of what was happening? Not only did you tell us what your niece was doing, then you gave us her name and brought her on camera looking like a lost mute, like she can't speak, just a pretty ass lost mute. I'm just looking at Jessica like, you have to take some accountability. You have to take some accountability. But I did holler when Jessica said, I can smell the stink on Yandy's soul.
We all can, Jessica. That's the problem with her. We can smell that shit 15 miles away. We know. Trust me. You ain't telling us nothing new about Yandy that we already do not know.
Jessica's slow.
Yeah.
She's slow. Something wrong with her. I don't care. Y'all can cancel me. I was born in a time when we say slow or mention the short bus, things like that, it was just to throw a little shade at somebody. I'm not coming to nobody's community. So please go away, sensitive humans on the internet. But yeah, Jessica, something's wrong with her, y'all. Let me get the comments from a bitch. Stay with it. She said, now his son online talking about it. He was in his dad's DM talking to, no, he wasn't.
We know he didn't. Girl, we know
that
he ain't.
pissed me off.
That it was like, why? We was gonna forget about this shit anyway because we already believe he's cheating. Just like I believe Yandy is cheating. I believe Yandy is cheating too. I believe they both cheating on each other. I believe they have. I don't think they necessarily have an agreement. I just think that Yandy the type, she moved like a female bird. She ain't gonna leave one nest until she got another one built somewhere else. So until she got that other nest built, she gonna shut her ass up and just fly the coops until she can figure it out. Mendiz is a little bit sloppy. He wants to feel like he's needed in a man. And I think that's why he cheats.
Well, all we know is neither of these people are faithful. James has been saying this since before they even came to Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. And I believe you. I really do. I think she is cheating.
I do. I believe it. I like if Yandy is not cheating, then she hiding money. It's one of the two. It's one of the two.
Or a combination of both. Little wombo combo.
Right. Like I do. I believe because the way she moving is sneaky her damn self. Like, what reason would you have to be in his DMs if you're not either looking for leverage? Because that's the only reason that I can find. Because to me, I'm sure it was more than just that little message from what was the little girl's name? Robin. I'm sure there's more messages than Robin up in that DMs. Come on now.
They think we stupid. Right. But hey, let them think it. But we know that man cheating. It's clear as day that he's cheating. And Yandy has lied to us from the moment she got with him to when she ended up pregnant to all these different things. So while I like Yandy and respect her as a businesswoman, as a girlfriend and or a cast member on a television show, I don't care for her because all she's gonna do is lie and deflect and avoid. But Rashida and Kurt, their little bistro was broken into. They took their safe. Okay, I hope y'all had insurance. I really don't support people breaking into businesses. That happens here a lot in Oakland. It's like every day I hear sirens, and it's not because people getting shot. It's because people breaking into businesses now. They said, hell, we can't rob each other. Ain't nobody got shit in the Bay Area. We got to go to the businesses and get something. So I don't like that people are doing that, but they broke in. This has been a problem in Atlanta. It seems like the poor in the Atlanta area seem to be targeting all of the money that resides there, which makes a little sense from like a socioeconomic standpoint, but it's still unfortunate that their restaurant was broken into. But Rashida pissed me off because she used the break-in with the restaurant as a way to say that Yandy came at her. Yandy asked you a question and tried to talk to you about something, which friends do when there's a disagreement or a concern, right? But Rashida's the one that got an attitude real quick because she just wants everything to be off of her and her man. And if you want that, Rashida, you leave the show because you don't bring shit anyway. You don't hang out with nobody. Don't nobody really like you. You people just laugh at you and make a mockery and laugh at your marriage. What is your purpose here? You're not putting out music anymore. You put it on him and made him want to marry you, and then he went and put it on a bunch of different bitches. So I don't fully see it for Rashida. But she feels like her and her husband are not in any way part of the reason that people are coming for Mendeecees and Yandy's relationship. People are not coming by your relationship or coming for your relationship by pointing out what's going on in it. That's not someone coming for your relationship. That's people like, what the hell, girl? He cheating. Are you going to leave? No, you a dingbat. That's what that is. People coming out of your relationship would be if they're intentionally trying to break you up, or if women are trying to sleep with him just so that y'all break up. But if your relationship is strong enough, that people coming for it shouldn't impact you. So, doesn't make sense. What I will say is it is Mendeecees' fault, though, that Yandy is dealing with this. Rashida and Kirk, yes, they brought Jasmine around and made them comfort them, but nobody told Mendeecees to go to the strip club that she work at. Nobody told Mendeecees to be talking to women in public spaces. Nobody told Mendeecees to conduct himself in any type of way that would make people question Yandy. He's responsible for that, not them. But as a friend, I do feel like Rashida could have been a little more empathetic to what Yandy is going through, especially since she knows what it feels like to be cheated on left and right.
Or she can be like me, that don't think it's real and think that Yandy is bullshitting. That's why she doesn't have the empathy card. I don't know.
It could be that. But I will say Rashida's definitely nobody's friend. Don't use somebody breaking into your business as a bridge to, normally I talked to Yandy about that. Y'all bitches was not even close like that.
Yeah, let's keep it real. Yandy is in the clique, but Yandy is the D-list in the clique. The clique is Candy, Toya Wright, Tiny, Monietta.
Yeah.
Out of those four,
girls,
everybody else is down the food chain. Yandy at the bottom of that list with Portia and all them. Yep. That's why Portia Quad and all them go to Africa, because they in the clique, but they ain't all the way up in there. Them the ringleaders. That's why I don't take their relationship serious. I don't.
I can agree with that. I can definitely agree with that. Hot mess. I also want to point out that friendship does not involve just defending your people blindly. It just doesn't, because sometimes people do wrong stuff. Abuse that women, I still don't believe they're married for real, but allegedly they say that they did eventually get legally married, but I still have not seen the proof. So y'all know how I feel about them. I don't even know if they really married or not.
Post the marriage certificate, Yandy.
And I'll be quiet. We'll all shut up. But would you want to post it after the way he acting publicly right now? Nope. And especially to be cheated on by a man who also said on that couples therapy, or was at the family reunion, that if the roles were reversed, he would not hold you down. And then he got you looking a fool too? Absolutely not. I'd be gone so fast.
I feel like that was the family reunion thing.
One of them.
Because Judy was there. And y'all know I can't stand Judy. So she was there, and she had said something. It was a whole thing. I remember. And y'all know every time I see Judy, I always think of that scene where Yandy was rubbing that oil on that man. She said, "Damn, why was you rubbing a coconut oil on that man?"
Can't stand you. Let me see. She said, "I always say that George approved with anything she say." So I'm not so sure about the break-in.
Nobody's so sure about
the
that.
The way they were laughing, Rashida was smiling watching that, like she was watching an episode of True Crime TV or something on Investigation Discovery. If I saw someone like kicking the safe that she alleges ruined her floors and all of this stuff, I'm like, I don't buy that. And then oftentimes now companies are putting trackers and things in safes. So I'm also like,
not only that, it was the specific detail that she was so willing to bring on national TV for me that made me feel like, well, how would they know that a safe would be upstairs?
That's specific.
That's very specific, because for me, like, nobody knew where the safe was in Starbucks. Nobody knew exactly where the safe was in Starbucks. And it was in very close proximity. So that's why I'm like, I'm sorry. That detail was way too specific for me.
When you look at them too,
to do with it, but I'm just saying, why would they know to go? How would they know to go upstairs?
Because they didn't stop. They walked in and knew exactly where to go versus looking around. So even if they went there to eat, the safes are usually somewhere customers are unaware of. So, okay, insurance, like a good neighbor, Okay, Rashida, we're gonna leave that be though.
When we get to the press scene, we see where Prest is now. So
she's a mess. All right, y'all. We got ratchet BBL nastiness that we have discussed. That is Jasmine, Ashley Zane's wife, who I really don't want to include in that, and Erica Banks. Erica Banks needs to stop. She is shaped like a triangle upside down, just like a caution cone. And I need for her to recognize and have confidence in herself, because it's definitely not cute. It's not. But all these ladies discuss the issues that everyone's talked about this whole episode. I was really annoyed taking notes for this live because I was like, oh, we're going to talk about Yandy and Jasmine and the Mendices thing again. So they're discussing it. And the only reason I'm bringing this scene up is because nobody believed Yandy. Not the side chicks, not the BBL, not her baby hairs. Nobody and nothing believes Yandy in this story. And I know Yandy watching the TV just mad as hell. Like, these bitches didn't believe me. That's fine. I'm going to go to Africa with my real man. That's what she's saying. Because none of it makes sense. She said exactly that BBL is horrible. Did you see old ass Vivica Fox is going through some type of crisis right now. And I'm going to let her have that. I'm going to let her have it. I just am. She's going through a crisis. That's what I'm going to say. Because I saw it. I was like, oh, two can play that game. Residuals must have ran low or something. Just.
Will she still get residuals for?
She might. I don't even know. Maybe that's why her BBL looked the way it did.
I feel like that cut off, unless they replay it on like Netflix or Amazon Prime. Because those are the only two that still pay residuals for. No, they don't. Because the Laguna Beach Girls was just on a podcast saying they don't get residuals now that it's on Netflix. So
who knows? Wasn't that a straight to DVD movie anyway?
Yeah.
Yeah. So she might. I don't know. We'll see. But based on her BBL, Vivica, seek help. Seek help. Right. She is too much of a star to have a BBL that looked like that.
Well, they say at a certain age you shouldn't get a BBL.
It's actually one of the most dangerous surgeries that you can have. Open heart surgery is safer. So
it does depend on the contract. That's why I was saying I don't know. That's why I had to retract my statement, because I know some movies did get residuals with Netflix and some didn't. That's why I was like, I don't know. And I don't even know if it's on Netflix. I remember it was for a certain period of time, but I remember like they may not pay for residuals. They just may pay the copyright out from the studio to get it.
Okay, that makes sense. See, I don't know anything about it. Never wanted to be an actress, never gonna do it. I'll just be watching shit. But I would hope that with streaming becoming so popular that people are including those residuals in their contracts.
Please.
I would hope.
Yeah. Like Jason Weaver's mama, the smartest lady ever.
That man owns the rights from music in The Lion King. He
still got that residuals, even to this day. She was so smart.
And that's a momager. That's a momager for real, for real.
That's Sonya in her wig.
I can't stand you. Now, we do have to get to something serious. Jessica White did lose her sister, and we do offer condolences. There seems to be a lot of health issues in her family. I know she struggled with fibroids, infertility. She said her other sister has cancer. The sister who passed away had cancer. We've really got to pay attention, especially in the Black community, how much we're frying things, what we eat, when we eat them. We have to start paying attention and reading labels. And that goes also to all communities.
And also in our community, we need to know our blood types too. Because I cannot tell you how many Black people I meet that do not know their blood types.
Well, if you had a baby, you should know your blood type because they tell you it. But
well, yes, but there's some people who don't pay attention to that factor.
Oh, Jesus.
And that's where, because like I literally had a conversation about it at work. And the fact that like my gender people and also our skin color did not know. And I had to give a whole dialect about eating right for your blood type, what that looks like. And then also the cancer trait blood type as well. You guys got to be careful of that one.
Yeah, there's tests you can take to find out with certain cancers if you are likely to
Especially
catch
if it could be
them.
hereditary. Like if you knew at least 2 relatives that may have passed from the same cancer, then it's important if you have that same blood type to get tested regularly.
Cancer, strokes, anything cognitive
High
or
blood
that has
pressure
to do
too.
with the heart.
Yes.
Super important. Super important. And yes, a bitch that when you are correct, they're saying braiding hair is toxic. As somebody who wears braids all the time, I don't think enough people wash the hair before they put it in. And you will see all sorts of crazy colors come out of it. Separate from that, I found 3 companies, oddly through Instagram, that have basically chemical free hair of some sort. And then you can also purchase human braiding hair, which is only a couple dollars more if you can afford it and do that. But if you can't afford it, wash your braiding hair before you put it in your hair.
That made me nervous. That's why I cut my hair, because I actually was going to grow my hair out and do some dread extensions just to see what I would look like. Not for real now.
AI.
No, I want the real thing.
Oh,
AI gets better. AI gets on
dreadlocks for so long. They're if you keep up with your twisting and do right in the beginning, super nice to manage, in my opinion. If you're about natural,
I don't think I look good with it, but I was curious.
You might. You have a good face. You probably could work a couple different styles.
Maybe with my head shaved on the side and just have the top of it. And do like a boot on. I'm just playing.
Who you trying to be? Wu-Tang? What's going on? Oh my God. But I think you'd be fine to try them. And the beauty of being a guy, you don't like it, just go back to your haircut.
Yeah, exactly.
Easy. I think my husband wants dreads because he's been going out his hair and he keep, oh, can you braid it? Oh, can you twist it? Oh, can you do this? What? I don't even do my own hair. I got to do his. Anyway. So Jessica White, we do offer you condolences. I do want to say I don't have many complaints about Bambi this season. I thought that the way that Bambi offered support to her friend in her time of need was appropriate.
Yes.
She showed her that she can relate without talking too much about herself. And then she also reminded her, you know, you don't have to be strong. I learned some things from how I can support my friends who experience things. But she definitely shows up for people when they need it. So shout out to Bambi for that. Just to take a break. Is this the sister who is the mother of your niece that passed away, or is this someone else, a different niece? Because if it is a sister who was the mother of her niece that she has on the show, give that girl some space from being on TV. But we'll move on from that. I just wanted to comment and offer condolences to Jessica White. She has so much pain, and I think she's going to need a lot of therapy before she'll really be able to get back right. And then she's dealing with stress because another sibling has cancer. So our thoughts and prayers really are with her. That was sad. Now, Jasmine drops off Cannon, and he mentions when she's talking to Kirk mentions that he met with Rod, who's basically the active father who, you know, didn't make the baby, but is basically the kid's father damn near. And Jasmine is not happy that Kirk and Rod spoke without her knowledge. Why does it matter? As Kirk said, you've had Kirk go pick up Cannon from Rod's house. Neither of these men want you. So why do you have an issue with them talking to each other unless you're trying to play both of them in some way? And this is why when people be like, well, we can't hold it against her because she slept with Rashida's man. Yes, we can. You watch out for people like that. Not just men, women too, all involved. Because if you lack so much character and respect for yourself, not just others, that you would go sleep with someone and make a child and bring a child into this foolishness, then you have no sense and you're not going to do nothing else right. Because why is it a problem? If Rod goes to try and make peace with Kirk, you wanted them to fight each other, then you wouldn't have a problem. But because they actually made peace and was like, oh, this bitch might be the problem, now you feel away because she's trying so hard to be a part of this show and to be relevant without her name attached to him. And that's just what's happening. I personally cannot wait for Rod to come pick up her Model 3 Tesla and tow it away. Because all I'm seeing from Jasmine is she wants everybody else to fucking take care of her child included, because it seemed like she had that baby so that she could be okay financially, which in my opinion is that baby taking care of her to a certain extent. So I didn't like it. But if Rod's going to be involved, then she's going to have him picking up the kid from school, the kid gonna be at his house a lot of the time, it sounds like, then why would you be mad at him when he's been there for your son? And yes, a bitch that when a little boy calls Kirk Yaya, he does not call him daddy. Crazy. So that's how I felt. James, how'd you feel about the little discussion they had?
I want to know 3 things. Jasmine, are you playing both Rod and Kirk? Because Kirk is paying for car repairs and shit, and I'm sure Rod bought the car because that's why he's taking away next episode. Are you playing them too, and that's why you don't want them to meet up so they don't compare notes, Cornell notes? I'm just saying. That's the first thing I want to know. Second, yes, why does that baby call Kirk Yaya? What the fuck is a Yaya? That don't even make sense to me. So, did you tell that baby dad he got 2 daddies? Is that what we're supposed to believe? Because I don't mind that. I don't mind that. If he was raised with one and that's dad, fine. We see the Russell Wilsons of the world do this. So I'm okay with calling another man dad if that's realistically the dynamic. But it looked like Kirk still got that. Not Kirk. Rod still got that other woman. So I don't know. I don't know what to say about this, but it's weird.
I know when we met Jasmine, Rod and her were living together or trying to be together or something like that.
Yeah, it was him, her, and another woman.
So maybe because he was around to help her, maybe they were together and now he's with someone else and just stayed in the kid's life. I have nothing negative to say about Rod.
Just he moved funny for me. I can't get on board with that. But I don't have anything else bad to say about him either. And the third thing is, Press ain't at the mall no more.
I think they opened up a couple different locations in previous seasons, but I am curious to know if that original mall location is still there.
My Atlanta natives.
Where y'all at?
Yeah, the real ones. Don't be talking about you just visited Atlanta 2 months ago and you saw it up in Perimeter Mall. Or is it in Perimeter Mall? I think so. Because I know it ain't all the way up in North Point Mall. So I know it has to be either in that mall in Buckhead. I can't think of the name of it. Or the one in Dunwoody. But yeah. I just want to know. I'm just curious. Because it's so good. I'm glad that they went. But if not, why does like somebody old shack that Pressed is in? That's all.
Let me tell y'all, I'm cracking up because one, I think in the Bay Area, we don't really even have malls no more. We got Stone Ridge and Sun Valley, Concord and Pleasanton.
Yep.
Even the malls in San Francisco are dead. I'll be feeling bad for tourists. But I don't know how the mall industry is in Atlanta, but I agree with this comment. Overpriced Shein items. I agree. Years ago, I ordered something when they first went online. This was seasons ago, almost a decade ago. It came and it was like a necklace and some earrings. That shit broke while I was out. That was when I was in my earlier 20s. I must have bent over to, wobble a little something. And my damn earring just broke. I said, how the hell does an earring shatter into pieces in the club? And they had to sweep it to the side. So I never bought anything from Rashida after that. True story. Damn. But hell, Shein items they'll hold up for the most part. So I don't know, Rashida. I don't know. But Kirk and them, they situation, the baby mama, baby daddy situation. I don't even believe that they're actually in court. I need to see more. But we're going to move. Huh?
I need to see court documents too.
Just like you need receipts from this cast to believe anything they say.
Right. We should be able to believe y'all off face value.
Right. But we can't.
I don't understand this.
Get rid of people who just lie. Rashida, Kurt, Andy, Mendices, Spice, Scrappy. Damn. Sierra, yeah, I guess they can't do that. They'd all have to go. But Spice, Yandy, Rashida, Zell, Bambi, and Amy, Luciani, Christina, who's that guy with the weird shaped head's wife.
Who was she? I was like,
International Nova's wife, the crazy one. Ashley, Erica Banks, and a couple more show up. Spice purchased the content house. Thank you for not showing up, Carly. I don't want to see Carly and Spice in any scenes together anymore. I feel like they had an actual friendship and Spice was on some bullshit with that. You cut off and did dirty the one person who flew to you when you were in the hospital in a different country, but you're cool with everybody else. So I don't trust people like that. But Yandy goes upstairs while they're in this content house, which it was okay, but it was a little tacky, in my opinion. I get that it's a content house, it's gonna be for content, but I don't know. Sometimes the way people decorate things drives me crazy, but it's content. She's not living there, so I'll let it go. But Yandy goes upstairs.
Might as well live there because damn, look like regular house furniture.
Right. She may as well.
I was like, I mean, I get doing that because I think I've seen some videos with that furniture in there, so I think she is making profit off of it. But I just felt like that looked like too much of house furniture for me, other than content furniture. Like it's not like Mariah Hutt's content lounge is very well put together. This is like a regular old house with some furniture, and you got some Chanel pillows and stuff. So you want people to be on Instagram flexing.
Why would you even invite people over to it if you don't live there? I don't get it.
I mean, it just seems like that's like showcase for another break-in to happen. You know, I hope God forbid. Like God forbid that does happen to them. Like I don't wish that upon her. But like, why would you have a full house with full furniture that you don't live in and probably not going to be at all the time?
Why your kids need citizenship.
And you already had a break-in last season. Why would you then buy another house and then furnish it? And because see, I would buy an industrial space. I would not buy no house.
I don't think Spice should be buying any space. I think Spice should be working on her documents for her children so that they could be with her full time in the United States of America. That's how I feel. She needs to spend her money on having her kids with her all the time. That's how I feel. Because Spice talk about, I'm my mom, and want to talk about everybody else, they parented and their relationships, everything else, but we never see her kids. I'm not letting that go. She's very talented. She's great success in music, and I think she makes great music. I do. Don't like her on this show anymore. I feel like she's outgrown it, and she's not telling us anything else about her that we can like use to kind of bond or feel like we could bond with her through the TV or like her. So I'm like, okay, Spice. But Yandy asked Amy Luciani and Erica Banks about the London trip and this goofy ass cast album. And this is where Erica mentions talking and being cool with Jasmine, Kirk's baby mama. And she explains to Yandy, she's like, yeah, I'm cool with her. I ain't that close to Rashida. And honestly, unless you're Rashida's true good friend off camera away from this show, people can film and hang out with Jasmine all the fuck they want. Jasmine's on this platform because of Rashida and Kirk. She could have easily been like, nope, if she films, I'm off the show. But no, she let her film, has given her a plate of food, and is mad at other people. What is this loyalty? So I kind of like how Erica Banks be. She's like, I ain't getting into all of y'all bullshit and drama. This is who I'm cool with, and that's what that is.
And my thing is, Jasmine don't seem like she a bad person. Like she don't seem like she come off cool and collected. Like to me, as I said, I don't mess with her because she foul. But at the same time, how she's moving on the show, I can't really fault her outside of the Kirk and Rashida situation. And as someone said in the confessionals, if Rashida forgave Kirk, she should have forgave Jasmine and moved on with the situation. Why is this a big deal?
Yeah, it's so stupid. It's so stupid. Right. Not to mention Rashida don't even have a problem with Jasmine. They met and talked in previous episodes. So it's like now you mad and people feel like they have to have loyalty. See, people be trying to give Rashida the loyalty that she'll never give to any of them.
Exactly. As I said, y'all are Rashida's co-workers at the end of the day. Y'all are not her real friends. Like, yeah, she may show up to events off camera for y'all just to say that she showed up because it helps bring, like, you know, eyes on the show and make sure there's some type of deemed loyalty through co-workers. But at the end of the day, y'all are not her. We know who her real friends are. So it's like, get out of here. Like, y'all giving her this blind loyalty for what? She ain't even giving herself that blind loyalty.
Right. She forgave her husband and welcomed the side piece onto the show. Like, stop, everybody, please. But it did annoy me a little bit, but they end up discussing the altercation that allegedly happened, verbal altercation, should I say, with Mendices and this woman and Jessica and that whole situation. And this is where Yandy learns that Rashida was not honest when she said she knew nothing about any altercation or potential altercation happening with Yandy, Mendices, Jasmine, and Erica Racine. We knew that Rashida lied. She did know, and she got caught because the information got back to Erica Banks, and Erica Banks was like, Rashida, you did say this. Why would I lie? And when asked the question calmly, that's the other thing I liked about Erica Banks. She stayed calm because Rashida be hoping people will go off so that they can look crazy and she can call herself a boss, even though she's staging robberies, allegedly. That's what she seems to do. So Yandy ends up basically bringing in Rashida to the conversation. And Rashida claims that she had no clue what they were speaking about and would not answer a yes or no question that Erica asked. Did you or did you not say this? Did you or did you not know? Rashida said she didn't want to say nothing and ended up just walking away. She's wrong in this situation, because if you knew about this, then why would you say to Yandy, I did not know that anything happened with you? If you know what it feels like to go through this with your man and this is supposed to be a friend, why didn't you check on Yandy? Like, I heard that this went down. Is it true? And are you okay? Rashida did none of that and thinks we give a damn about her little fake ass robbery. Girl, we don't care. So, Yandy, let this be a lesson to you. The internet's going back and forth, but I agree with most of the internet's opinions. Rashida is nobody's friend. She's not even her own friend. She don't even like herself to stay with a nigga that looked like that and has treated her the way that he has treated her.
It's just like, I don't get her. I just don't understand. It's given, what's love got to do with it when Ike Turner handed Anna Mae Mama them hundreds of dollars and she put it up in her titties? It's like, it's given that. It really is. You ain't got no self-esteem whatsoever.
She doesn't, to stay with Kirk. Like, no.
For real,
they would have said exactly, not to mention it takes two. Society loves to only demonize the woman. That's true. That is true. That is true. But I also think that it depends on, like, for instance, Tiana Taylor and Iman's divorce is now final, and blogs are making it look like she took him to the cleaners when the reality is she was very fair, left with what she came in with is only getting child support and properties and things that she bought, and she's getting demonized when it turns out that he was the one in court trying to keep the house and get half of her residuals on things that she's a part of and things of that nature. So I think that women are publicly demonized and demonized longer than men are for many different situations. That's definitely a very good point. More foolery happened at this damn content house. I knew that content house was it's just evil, just like Spice Soul. But Bambi confronts Spice about the diss track. So when they were in London, Bambi and Amy Luciani made peace because they felt like they were talking about the diss tracks that they made to each other, the verses they did. Now, Amy was like, I had a whole different verse when I showed up to the studio with Spice, and she wanted me to change it after hearing I had a problem with you. And Bambi was like, yeah, she did something like that similarly to me as well. So they bonded over that and started to recognize Spice as the common denominator. That's a problem. Now that Bambi is confronting Spice about it to their face, which is another reason I like Bambi this season. Instead of talking about it with other people, confront the source. And Bambi always, for the most part, maintains her cool when she does so, which I can respect, because if you watched her on Basketball Wives, you know that it wasn't always that way. Now, it's frustrated because Amy comes and now Amy says that it was only one line that she said was changed, not the entire verse. And I'm like, Amy, do not do that, because your whole verse was about Bambi. So now you're saying it's only one line that was changed, and you meant the dish. So Amy, by admitting that, you're kind of damned if you do, damned if you don't. But Spice then argues that the issue is Bambi sleeping with Amy's old man and that they're trying to make her the bad guy. Spice, didn't you just say episodes ago that this shouldn't be a big deal if they were never a couple and this was over 10 years ago? You were talking to other people saying it shouldn't be that big of a deal. But now because they're trying to call you out on some shit, you're saying that You're not
now
the
you
bad
want
guy.
to collect and everything. Now you want to say, oh, it's because of this. And then it was like, girl, just admit you was being messy on the tip that you would hope these two would get into it. Because
Spice don't want to admit that this album is a joke and she's not a producer.
Right. Because it is given like, and I'm sure MTV pushed her to do this. I'm sure they did.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm just saying, to me, it feels like you took the bait. You was the monkey that took the banana. And now they're using you for the show. That's what MTV does. And that's why I said I didn't want MTV to take a hold of this show the way that they did. Because I use that euphemism, the monkey taking the banana, as a way of how racism does play a part in all of these corporations where they look at us as jokes. And when we behave like that, Kirk and Rashida, Yandy and Mendices, and we do shit like this, then that's what pushes that narrative even further. So that's why I'm saying, like, for me, Spice, I'm sure they offered you a good grip of money to bring that idea to the show, but I'm not 100% sold on it solely being that they didn't tell you to make sure that there was drama included in this and it not being a professional thing, because they wouldn't do Jersey Shore like that with all the endeavors they have and all the residencies they acquired. They didn't make them have a joke with all of that. So why would they let you have a joke with all this music production if they were behind it? I know this is MTV. I already know it is.
Yeah, because a lot of the people come on the show in hopes that they'll end up like Cardi B, K. Michelle, things of that nature.
Exactly.
It's very clear. And James pointed this out as soon as he learned that Love and Hip Hop was even coming to MTV. He's been saying it the whole time because they don't treat the shows with people of color the same that they do shows with casts like Jersey Shore. So I can definitely agree and appreciate that point. I really do. And it shows. But this episode, like, the situation with Yandy and Rashida was interesting to talk about. But other than that, we got an hour's episode of people just talking about stuff that we had already watched. I need them to, if you're going to push the cast to do anything, push them to actually interact, switch it up, change up the cast. I think MTV is afraid to change this cast because they took this show from VH1 and are probably thinking, oh, we'll keep the OGs and have a good clientele. But I think it's time to get rid of some of the OGs. Yandy, Rashida, Kirk, Mendices, Young Jock, and Kendra. I personally feel like none of them need to be on this show anymore. I'm not saying the other people are perfect, but the other people are at least willing to discuss their life once it comes out. Like, for instance, it comes out that Scrap got a baby on the way. So then he discusses it, films with the baby mama, and shows that process, right? They don't do that. Yandy, Rashida, and them, they just try to deflect and avoid BS. And Spice ain't gave nothing, and her wigs are getting worse. So they can change it. They can keep it. But that was it, y'all. That's all that happened on this episode. Do you have any last thoughts that you are itching to get off your tongue?
No, you pretty much covered everything that I wanted to talk about and then some. I just wish this cast realistically would stop falling for these semantics just so that you can have a show come every season. I just wish, like, I'm telling you, I wish MTV wouldn't have gotten Love and Hip Hop. I really wish they wouldn't have, because it really is sad to watch them sell themselves out for a few $1,000s a year. Just saying.
Well then. I can agree with that. But we are going to end this live, you guys. We'll be back again next week on Wednesday, not Thursday, to do the next episode of Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. When is the 15th?
The 15th is Saturday.
The Valley is coming back, you guys. I might have missed the premiere. I'm going to look into when it's back, but once the Valley's back on Bravo, I will be covering it. So be sure to tap in. Other than that, we're about to head over to recap the Housewives of Beverly Hills. The link to James's channel is in the description of this video, as well as throughout the channel and playlist. And we hope to see you guys next week. And thank you for watching Thug Life, and we gone.